Got a couple more storytellers. The next one on the stage. Big round of applause for Tom.
Just so you know, this is for you. Oh, thank you. 25 years ago, this month, I celebrated my 30th birthday by getting a mud bath. And not the kind of relaxing one you get at a day spa. My two best friends, Eddie and Tommy, decided to surprise me by taking me out to dinner. And I was thinking it was going to be at Arnie Morton's or Lowry's. And so you can imagine my surprise when we pulled into the parking lot of the famous, now closed, Hollywood Tropicana Club. Now, for those of you who don't know what the Tropicana Club was, it was a nightclub that rested above the 101 with neon signs or lights that could be seen for miles that featured all-female mud and oil mud wrestling. Beautiful women. And what you would do is you would go into the bar and you would bid opposite the other bar patrons to have the chance to get into the ring for 5 minutes with one of these beautiful young mud wrestlers. Now, what I said to these guys prior to leaving that night was I said, look, guys, whatever it is you got planned, no strip clubs, no strippers. And as we're pulling into the parking lot, I was like, I specifically said no strippers. And my best friend Eddie said, they're not strippers, they're mud wrestlers, and they have bathing suits on. And I said, I can't argue with that logic. And I said, fine, okay, I'm going to go in there, but I am not, no way, no how, going to get into the ring. No way. But then there's this little thing called Goldschlager. 87 proof. Cinnamon schnapps, the drink of kings. And after about 3 or 4 of these and a couple of Bud Lights, the next thing I know, I am bidding to get into the ring with a fresh-faced, pint-sized, beautiful young lady by the name of Lisa. And I win the bid at $76. It was a slow night. And from there, it's a whirlwind. I was taken to what's called the insurance room, where there was a woman that I swear to God resembles Shelley Winters with a cigarette hanging out of her mouth. And I have to sign this waiver that absolves the club of any responsibility in case of injury or death. And then from there, I'm whisked up to a room that can only be described as the delousing room from Shawshank Redemption. And I'm taking my clothes off, and then I'm given the ceremonial swimsuit. One size fits all. It doesn't. And from there, I go down with all these other schlubs to ringside, where we anxiously await to get into the ring. And the smell of stale beer and cigarettes and cheap perfume is in the air, and I'm nervous, and I'm waiting, and then finally, Lisa comes down and the DJ announces us both, and we meet in the ring, and we go in and we shake hands, and Lisa says to me, assume the position. And I have seen Vision Quest with Matthew Modine, and I know exactly what to do. I get on all fours and I expect her, and she does. She comes up behind me, and I lean over my shoulder and I say, this is going to be fun. And then she yells over the din of the 90s techno music, if you fight me, I'll kick your ass. At what, I'm like, huh? And that's when the bell rings, and this beautiful, demure, pint-sized woman starts to throw me around the ring like I'm a Raggedy Ann doll and she's a bored 5-year-old. And I'm in the mud, and I'm trying to listen to what she's telling me to do. And it's above the din of the music, and the music, and I'm being thrown all over the place. And mud is everywhere, in every orifice. It's in my ears and in my nose and in my teeth. And I can taste the mud, that grit. And I'm not having any fun at all. And I've paid $76 for this. And then she tells me at one point, she goes, "Get on your knees, I want to ride you like a pony." And she throws me down, and I'm trying to buck her up, but I have no core because it's the 90s. Yoga wasn't popular then. And she's throwing me around, and now mud is in my eye, and I can't see, and I'm trying to have somebody tag me out, and I'm 3 minutes in, and my chest is heaving, and I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack, and now I realize why I signed that waiver. And then finally, the time is over, and I collapse in a heap of sweat and mud. And Lisa picks me up and takes me over to the corner and says, "That was fun." And I'm thinking, wow, what would have happened if I fought her? And I go upstairs to the delousing room to try and shower off, and all they have is 2 settings on the shower, off and fire hose freaking hot. And I'm trying to get the mud out, and it's not out, and it dries in my hair, and I put on my members-only coat, and I go downstairs, and I meet my friends, and they go, "So, did you get excited?" And I go, "There's no time." And I walk they had a gift store, I swear to God, and I get my complimentary picture Polaroid and a free t-shirt, and I walk out. The Polaroid has faded, the t-shirt gone after I got married. But every time I drive by and I see a vacant lot with a pool of standing water and mud, I always fondly remember of the night that I lasted 5 minutes in the ring with a bull named Lisa. Thank you.
Keep it going for Tom.